It's surprising because the last time a Democrat held the office of mayor of Miami was back during the era of The Birdcage, which was a great film in the late 1990s, one of my favorites. But more than that, Kate Baldwin, it feels like deja vu all over again. Sarah Seidner is laughing in the back there, I want to note. And I'm coming in from Buffalo, where I was watching the Bills. Therefore, my voice is
that what's going on?
That is what's going on right here.
You can't blame me being Typhoid Mary on this one.
No, I was just really rooting for the Bills. But this was just such a big shift to the Democrats. I mean, Kamala Harris won Miami, but just by a point. There was a huge shift towards Donald Trump. This was in Miami, Joe Biden had carried Miami by nearly 20 points, and Harris only won it by 1. And all of a sudden, look at this. It's a 19-point win for Higgins. That is an 18-point shift in just a year's time. Yeah. And of course, it is just the latest shift that we're seeing. That is what I think is so important going on here. We've seen it in special elections. We saw it in Virginia Gov. We saw it in New Jersey Gov. We have seen it across the political map, whereby over and over and over again, the baseline from 2024, Democrats are consistently outperforming it 10, 15, nearly 20 points in this case.
Well, put this into more context of what you're talking about, into kind of the broader trend that we're seeing across the country in races.
Yeah, okay. So I think if you know anything about Miami, you know it's heavily Hispanic, heavily Latino. And what we have seen is that Latinos have absolutely gone up and said, you know what, I don't like what Donald Trump is doing. I mean, just look at Donald Trump's net approval among Latinos. In February, it was minus 2 points. Not too hot to trot, but not that bad either. Look at where it is now. Minus 38 points. That is a shift of 36 points in the wrong direction, the completely wrong direction for Donald Trump. And what the race in Miami illustrates, I was looking at the localities, locality by locality by locality. What you see is these huge shifts in these heavily Hispanic neighborhoods of Miami against the Republican nominee from the Donald Trump baseline. And so to me, this is an encapsulation of what we see. We saw it in Arizona's 7th congressional district, right? That special election earlier this year. Again, a heavily Hispanic district. What we see is Democrats outperforming that 2024 baseline, which to me is so important because we see these national polls. You wonder, how is this actually going to impact things? And what we see is exactly what we saw last night. The first Democratic mayor of the great city of Miami since the Birdcage era.
Since the Birdcage era. Put that in a headline. So you have now Miami is going to be run by a Democrat. How many Republicans run big cities in America anymore?
Yeah, this to me is part of a longer, larger arc. And, you know, you just look at this. GOP mayors in the 50 largest cities. In 2017, it was about 14. Now with Higgins coming in, it's 7. It's 7. Donald Trump has been absolute kryptonite to Republicans who want to run major cities in the United States. There are very few. They are an endangered species.
That is fascinating, just since 2017, that shift.
Literally Donald Trump kryptonite in big cities. That's what I got to say, Kate Baldwin.
Thank you, Harry Enton.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Disclaimer.
Sarah.
The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Mars.
Ken Billions, what's going on?
I'm 85 Slim.
Mr. Rippey.
I'm Skeptic.
I'm Doc.
And we have a guest, Ratchet Christian. Go ahead, Ratchet Christian.
Hello, I am the Ratchet Christian. I also go by my name, A Smile.
Okay, so Ratchet Christian, since you're our guest, you can go first. Do you feel like, you know, a Democratic mayor winning in Miami is predicting a blue wave in the midterms?
Absolutely. And as I was watching that video, all I could think about was the fact that they did it. You know, this has been the long-term goal for a while. And I think, you know, that factors into what we were seeing with the immigration policies under Biden, how they were wanting to overwhelm our cities with, you know, people from Hispanic countries, Latino countries, so that they would be able to swing the vote this way. And I as I was watching that back, I'm like, you know what? They did it regardless of what Trump planned to do when he came into office and how he was going to enforce immigration and all those things. This was the goal all along. And it also made me think about like the Black vote and what that means now too, where it's like the conversation has moved past us. You know, the Democrats don't need the Black vote that much anymore. They have the Hispanic vote, and they did that intentionally, and it's going exactly as planned. And all I can think about is, wow, these people are determined, and it's working. Look at it.
So, Skeptic, they're talking about Hispanic vote. Of course, you're a Democrat, but I think you said before that Hispanics were going to vote with the Republican Party anymore. Do you feel like that's what's happening?
Yeah, so it's interesting because it tends to be that a lot of immigrants will vote Republican, which is like, interesting. Also, the fact that if you are here under refugee or asylum status, even if you're DACA, you don't have the right to vote. You have to be a citizen in order for you to vote. So I want to say that Florida, for the most part, has been conservative, but with all of the things that the Republicans have been doing, the way that they have been handling the deportation of people coming out on the streets, terrorizing families, ripping children away from their mother's arms, I feel like a lot of the Latino community feels like there has to be a stop to this. Whether or not they agree with the left ideologies, they're going to vote left just to prove a point. And I also want to say that Texas is going to swing more towards the left. Same thing. You have a high population of Latinos. Majority of the time, they actually had been voting somewhat, conservative, but because of everything that's going on, the conservatives are giving away the vote. They're kind of forcing the Latino people's hands to vote with the left.
So this is what Trump had to say about Black people. He went viral for saying this.
Tell you, Black people love Trump. I got the biggest
Black.
vote.
Black.
I got the biggest vote with Black people. They know a scam better than anybody. They know what it is to be scammed. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. We did great. Thank you. I like this guy.
So, Ken, was that racist?
No, it's funny. It's not. It's hilarious. Black. It's funny. But I think like when you go to cities, major cities, you're trying to party. Like you're not trying to be conservative when you go to major cities. Like when you go to Miami, you ain't trying to be conservative. You're trying to take your clothes off. You know what I mean? When you go to LA, when you go to certain major cities, especially when you're a tourist, you're trying to take your clothes off. You're trying to party. People have extracurricular activities. I don't expect like major cities to be like very conservative. I expect like the edges to be the rural areas where people are farming, where people are a little more religious. I expect cities to be more secular. You know what I mean? Because you are dealing with a lot of other people from around the world. So it's going to be a mixture of ideologies. But when you go to the edges, the people that live there are from there. When you go to the cities, the people that live there are not from there.
Right. So, Slim, you speak the MAGA language. What did Trump mean by Black people know scamming better than anybody? What does that mean?
It means a lot for the simple fact you played a CNN clip, which is the biggest on the planet.
And that CNN poll means a lot too, right?
Yeah, CNN is some bullshit. I don't even know why you even want to put CNN on the panel, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? They gonna always hate Trump. And at the end of the day, Trump is right. There's a lot of things that I've noticed about the Democratic Party that I've been scammed when I was a Democrat. So at the end of the day, it's real shit, man. I mean, Trump is a G, man. That's why I love him for who he is.